Y'all left me out the dream.
No, we hit it. It was
yeah,
good.
he's right.
Good.
Let's go.
He's right.
Let's go. Let's get started here.
Let's go.
Theme music. Hey. You want to hit some bars? You looking like you antsy.
Get it.
Shit.
Get it.
Listen. Look. I just look like I'm about to rap, but I ain't about to say shit.
Bar.
Bill Wealth, break curse. That's a bar. Poetic. Yeah.
Ooh.
No curses. We breaking. We skating it. I'm making it.
See, I'm just with the
What
eyes
is
of
we
ooh.
talking about,
That's it. That's what I'm here for. I'm just for the eyes of
Give me that vibe, music. He always comes.
Jay Frey really got some good beats, bro.
This made me feel like a Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla.
He needs to send me the link so I can give him the credit on the YouTube shit. That last record that Smoke gave to us, I told you it got flagged. My YouTube video got flagged because Smoke, if you listening, man, don't send me no more copyrighted music, man. Damn. God damn.
That's what you gotta be like.
At least give us the
rights
to use
right.
it.
I don't know. I don't own the rights.
My dispute is still fucking sitting in YouTube office right now. They ain't gonna get to my shit.
Damn.
I just figured I'd submit it anyway just to see what happened.
Yeah, just check it out.
How long ago you submitted?
At this point, it's probably been since I posted the shit. So 2 weeks. I think that was about 2 weeks ago.
Which song was that?
Focus.
I just heard, man. So look, when I listened to part one of the show from last week, right after it ended, that song came up in between. So if they flagged it, they definitely got it on there being used right now.
What you mean before it ended? That shit.
Like no. When part one ended, it went into the next video and the song was playing. So they might have fixed it.
Oh shit! I might have won my claim.
See, and you like, oh, they ain't gonna get back to me.
You
might have won.
Back and looked at it. Yeah,
because
I was wondering. I'm like, why did this song start playing in the middle of the show? But I didn't realize that was part one at the moment.
Oh, you know what? Here's another thing though, because the way YouTube is set up right now, they'll still play the video, but you just can't monetize. You just can't make no money off of it. Oh. So it might still be, you know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't even no point of me submitting the claim. I was just on some bullshit. I said, fuck you. Damn it. He let me use this shit.
But you can people can still see the show and see the content.
Yeah.
They didn't
I just can't monetize nothing off of it. You know what I'm saying?
But then, see, now if that's the video that I get 100,000 views, you ain't gonna get no bread from it.
Nah, but yeah, whatever. So, welcome everybody to the JMatt show. This is show, I think it's 54.
54.
Joined here by co-host Wayne, and we got a guest today. Oh. Aisia Jones. Who?
Hey.
Jones.
Right.
Jones.
What's going on?
What's happening?
What's going on?
We don't have too many guests, but, you know, if she in the building with us, you know, she a live one. So we going to get to the shit, and she's going to join in. And
to the
add
shit.
Yeah, she's going to add a different flavor because I don't think we've had a woman down here.
Yeah, it's the man cave. I see the man cave
wife,
back here.
Yeah, she been down here, but she really was, you know, she wasn't a part of the real conversation. She was kind of hanging out, trying to do YouTube live or IG live.
Well, as far as part of the show, she'd definitely be the first one since I've been here.
All right, shout out to Shirley, by the way.
Shirley, and you did witness me invite her to the show.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes. And I was like, come on, girl.
It's an open chair right there, so she's more than welcome to
come on down
join
here,
the show.
Shirley.
Also,
come on, Shirley.
Everybody listening, look, she's like, what? So also everybody. She's really talking to us.
Really
from upstairs.
That's
so
that's Mama Shirley from the kitchen.
Right. It sounds like somebody's mama. What?
It's just like somebody's mama.
So everybody listening and watching, if we get any guests, you know, excuse us, but my brothers might stop by.
They might just pour in.
Yeah. My brother Chris from California is in town, so we've been kicking it a lot lately. Drinking a lot of beer. That's why I thought that was a growler.
Like, no, this is the big water jug as I take my sip.
I'm getting one.
Where I'm at, let me see where it's telling me. It told me don't give up. So I got to keep going, man.
That is powerful. Go. Get it.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Chug a
It's
little.
lit.
Oh, I thought you was gonna keep going.
Ah.
Everyone that's really vodka.
Right. In real life.
This nigga's a really bad alcoholic. That's
That's the
Tito's
part I
right
wasn't
there.
gonna tell you. No, that's Kettle One right there with lemon.
All right, man. All right, you know what? I think we got a pretty interesting show. I finally got some shit. You know what? Honestly,
Skin bats.
that is hilarious. That is hilarious, man. That's funny. I can't believe what type of twisted mind comes
said,
up
okay,
with
that's
skin
funny.
bats?
Hey man, no, we can't do it. We can't go to. We could not talk about
No,
the skin
but
bats,
I
man.
appreciate that even came up, that you thought of saying something like that, man. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Thank
But
you, Wayne.
it's been a lot of shit come in the news, man, since
Yeah.
the last time we talked about news. We ain't talked about news in a while. And plus, you know, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, but it's been a lot of shit going on. So we will get to this Iran issue. Everybody, don't be alarmed. They have not increased the terror alert. Remember they used to do the colors?
Yeah.
Do they still do the colors, or did they get rid of that?
I mean, I don't know. We ain't had that kind of beef since then. So
Yeah, that's.
you know, so
I think it's
they
been
might
on
bring
yellow since 9/11. So I think
Yeah.
we're still on yellow, y'all.
And I think that war is still kind of
Lingering.
going. Yeah, lingering, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people like we about to go to war, but the war ain't never stopped. But the difference is they looking at us going into a world war.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody afraid of. And hey,
What y'all think about the memes? The
Oh
World War III
man!
memes.
So you know the meme with French Montana? No, not French Montana. Murder. What's his name? Come on, help me out. Sierra's ex.
Oh,
Sierra's
Future.
ex-
Future.
oh,
Future.
Oh.
That I'm like.
I thought you was rapping one of the little scrappy lyrics. Or
Right.
something at first.
No.
Like,
So
drink.
Future, he's
Oh,
like,
what you drink?
he's like, they got the memes of him like text on the phone, texting the girl like for the holidays and stuff, and they have him doing a meme, and it's like, you know, ever since I heard about the war. And, you know, just thinking about how I ran from your love.
Oh,
It's so
know what?
funny. He's like, you know, but tell your mom I said hi. I thought it's like so many memes with Future
Well,
texting his ex, trying to get back with her. I think that is so funny.
I didn't see too many specific World War III memes. I just heard it was like a issue with people making jokes about.
that's
World
where
War
I
III.
was getting ready to go, man. Man, you know I'm with the shit. You know I'm with the shit.
I think that shit is fun.
But man, I gotta be honest, man. Like it's hard for me.
Are you about to say something serious?
Are you a
Man.
veteran?
Huh?
You a veteran?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
All right,
you
so
for
are
your
you
service.
about to say something serious?
Thank you for your service.
Okay, because I want to read something funny before you say
God
something serious.
damn it!
Damn.
Come on for it, man.
Okay,
So
come
all
on.
right, this is funny as shit. When I
Oh,
I
damn.
read it, I said, "Holy shit, this is creative."
Hey
All
man,
right.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Wait a minute, hold up. Before
Go
you
ahead.
read that,
Go ahead.
before you
Go
read
ahead.
that,
Go ahead.
see, here's my problem. I'm very sensitive to what to the troops and everything like that. But the problem is, like I said prior to saying anything, I'm with the shit. So it's like it's a part of me that's like, damn, I want him to read this shit because I know
It's not offensive.
no, it ain't about it
I
being
promise
offensive.
it.
It's
I
like
promise it ain't.
if it's something that's gonna make me laugh, whether it's offensive or not, it's gonna completely just
Take
kill
the
everything
veteran
we
out of
did.
your
So-
ass.
Oh my god!
So let me humor you. Let me humor you.
Well, humor me.
Vibe with me in my doughboy voice. This y'all U.S. citizens problem right now. Ain't nobody playing about y'all but y'all. Y'all stroll up and down IG all day playing. Them Iranians ain't playing. Y'all think they playing about they people? They said they had bombs when you seen them, right?
Damn.
Name one nigga from the Middle East that play like that.
Not a
Shit.
one.
Nah, they serious. But he had.
Hey man, I need Trump to be on his smoky shit, man, and step up and go ahead and battle the big worm.
Nah.
All right, listen.
They got
By
they
itself,
got
though.
a bounty out on his head.
Yeah.
They got an 80 million.
Oh, speaking of that,
They got an 80 million bounty out on this nigga head.
did you hear? And I just heard this today. Trump, man, I swear this dude is a master of like misdirection, right? Misdirection like a motherfucker. Like, look here, like the Old Spice.
Right,
nigga.
yeah.
So I hear today that Trump is now going after George Lopez. You know why?
Because George Lopez said that we'd pay half or
Exactly.
do it for half the money.
He's trying to say that
That's
is
a threat.
on the president.
As soon as I seen that George Lopez said that, I'm like, man, how is the country about to react to this?
And
one?
you know,
and he's
Trump
a comedian,
don't fuck with no Mexicans.
but you ain't about
He's
to play
a-
that game.
Trump
Yeah.
don't fuck with no Mexicans. Oh,
Nope, you
You
should have
cannot make a public
Thank
threat
you.
against the. I don't care. Like you,
And he was
hate
playing
him all you want to. That's just not smart.
because he's playing like he's speaking on behalf of all Mexicans, right? You know how George Lopez is.
Oh, my
Because the way that
God.
the joke when he said we will pay half, as far talking about the Mexican people. Yeah. And
Like,
you know
that could be considered.
But you know what?
An assassination attempt.
Let's talk about this comedian
But
thing.
it's a
When
joke.
you're a comedian, what is not allowed? Because a lot of people went after Chappelle,
Yeah.
and I personally, I enjoy comedy and things. I didn't think a lot of the things he said was wrong. So how much weight does that George Lopez tweet or whatever
Well, here's
really
the
hold?
thing with the George Lopez thing is that it was a threat. Like making a joke about the president, saying something about the president, giving things
But
like
that's
that.
a-
That's
But
one
that's
thing.
what I'm saying.
This
He's
How
a
much-
comedian.
He's a comedian. How much weight should we give
He's saying
this?
it's a joke. So
You
if a
understand what I'm
comedian
saying?
is saying something as a joke, and we all know he's famous for making.
Man, come on, look at the society we live in
But
right now.
people joke
True.
like Chappelle.
Like-
yeah,
True.
but Chappelle joked about. He's like, man, that's Michael Jackson. I would have went to school like, hey y'all, what you do? Yeah, Michael Jackson's in my booty. So like, that's about a child. So does the president hold more weight than a child? Like they're comedians. Like how much are we going to?
Well,
scrutinize-
here's the thing. Dave Chappelle, he made a joke. Like, in my personal opinion, everything that he said was funny as hell to
It
me.
was very
like,
fu- I thought
very
it was-
hilarious. Especially the one where he was talking about I identify as what he said, Chinese man or something like that.
Oh man, yeah, that was so funny.
and he said his wife
He's
keep asking him
trans.
not to make the face.
Right.
He was what he said. He's trans
He's
cultural or something. He really a Chinese man living
the
on
main-
inside a black body.
But
yeah.
the main thing about it is that it was a shot. He was making a dig at transgenders. And I felt like, and that was just a comedic analogy about it. So with that being said, with all of that stuff, like even with what he said about Michael Jackson, there's no threats. He's just giving his he's making a joke about it, but at the same time, he's not doing something that's considered illegal. You, joke or not, you make a threat towards the president. That's your ass. That's like going on a plane and saying bomb. You can't do that shit.
I just I was listening to a show, and it was like, so can comedians really be comedians? Since we have to censor everything we joke about, there's still people that do the race jokes and things like that, and but do we really want to hold comedians to a higher level than different entertainers?
I think honestly, it's all some bullshit. This conversation is actually an old ass conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm a big ass fan of comedy. I watch
Yes.
white comedians,
Tasteless
black
comedy, get
comedians,
that.
funny shit,
Lisa
dumb
Lampanelli
shit.
comedy.
Oh,
That's what I
Lisa
like.
bitch. I don't
Man.
fuck with her.
I haven't.
You said you
Wow.
don't fuck with Lisa?
No.
Why?
I don't. You fuck. You
Hey,
like
she's
Sarah
o-
Silverman
she's
too?
overly offensive, and I love it.
I like Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, I don't.
I
mean,
like
Her
tasteless
Jewish
comedy.
jokes be
I
funny.
watch them, but what I'm saying is, I think the state of comedy now, it's surpassed all that bullshit that was going on when people was overly offended.
They can't even say fag.
No, they can't. That what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not that anymore. That conversation, I think, is dead. Did anybody watch Bill Burr Paper Tiger?
I did.
If you haven't, you would understand what I'm saying. The shit that this motherfucker said about the Obamas, you wouldn't be able to say that shit
I'm gonna have to
when the
check that out.
motherfuckers was in office.
Bill, I'm a watch.
And I'm a
that
big
too.
fan of Bill Burr. He's funny as fuck. But what I'm saying is the edgy shit is coming back because Dave Chappelle.
I'm ready for it.
Sticks and Stones. That's why, and we can segue into Dave Chappelle winning the Mark Twain Award. He won that off the edgy shit.
Yeah.
He came
Yeah,
back
he didn't do no
edgy
bubble
as
gum.
His
fuck.
whole show
No
was
bubblegum
edgy.
shit. It was
Before he
great.
left.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I
came
really
back
enjoyed
and
it.
acted a fool.
So,
Yeah,
so
I
love
really
it.
enjoyed
I
his
think-
comeback. I really enjoyed it.
I think
really
all of that
enjoyed it.
is actually dead, man. I think we're going back to no one being scared of saying shit
That's
because
because we live in a
we're
world where
realizing
everybody's
shouldn't be.
sensitive and then they want to go kill themselves.
well, no, we're realizing that
That's it.
it's actually some bullshit. We're being hypersensitive, and I think people are starting to understand that.
Yeah,
now
I
it's
agree.
shifting to mental illness.
Right.
Now, mental illness is the shit to be, sensitive about.
Yes,
but all
I
the other
agree.
shit, I think is open season. Like,
Yeah.
like right now, they're still trying to go after Dave Chappelle about saying he's has something against transgenders.
Yeah,
He also
he said it was
he
the
also
one.
said he was a victim
He named
blamer.
the one.
He
Right.
He says the
Victim
motherfuckers
blamer.
is funny.
Yeah, so
What's wrong with that?
It's fun. I mean, I hold it to the esteem of being a joke.
You're right.
You
You're
know,
a freaking
I'm-
comedian.
Just like I understand what you're saying, Wayne, but George Lopez is a comedian. But we'll see how that unfolds.
Man, it's different. It's different when you just talking shit in the way of like you can have your opinion about anything, but it's a difference between jokes about like, hey, I can sit up there and say I don't like transgenders, or I don't, or hey, Michael Jackson did what he did to the kids. I can sit up there and say all of that stuff, but people could look
Like
at me
I
and
said.
not like it and be mad at me. But I haven't threatened anybody's life.
Right.
And that's the difference between saying stuff that can be possibly considered tasteless,
Yeah.
opposed to making a threat against somebody's life.
Yeah.
And as a comedian, even if they are looking at it like, oh, he's a comedian, but let's ask this question. And don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to support Trump. I'm just trying to, give an
Yeah.
objective view of this. What if as a comedian he was serious?
Right.
What's wrong with that?
And that
But
and
the
that.
thing is, it's
will
a
we
threat.
find-
and,
but
and that's
will-
illegal. You can't make a threat. You can't make a threat against nobody,
But you
let alone
also-
the president.
but you-
That's gonna automatically get blown out of proportion.
The thing you can't do is insert a hypothetical as to what he intended it to be. If he says it's a joke, you can't say no, it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can because
you can't.
Yes, you can.
You
And I'm
can't
saying-
tell
I'm-
someone's intent.
Yes,
you
you can.
cannot tell someone what their intent
and that's
is.
what I'm saying. But whatever.
Absolutely not.
But if you sit up there and took it as so, if you sit up there,
It don't matter how you take it.
Wait a minute,
but
hold
you
on, hold
can't
on.
tell me what my intent was.
Hold
when I
on.
said it.
But check this out. Let's say you send me a text message threatening me, and you
You
go and say-
interpret it as a threat.
Wait a minute, but here's the thing.
Okay.
If you could say that you were just joking, but let's say if I go to the police and make a report, you're in trouble for the threat, and then if we go to court or whatever, you're going to be found guilty because I got documentation saying that you threatened me, whether you say
No,
that it was
what
a joke
the
or
text?
not.
The
You have to say what the
technicality
text is. What was the text? Because the court is going to.
Okay, so look at
It's going to
the-
depend on what it was said. in the
you
text.
said
so
you
look at
text
this.
and say you gonna
what
slap
threat,
him.
what threat that
Well, that's a
Iran,
direct threat.
What threat that Iran make against
And
him?
that's what I'm saying. You can't. You're taking it out of the context of what it is because this is a comedian, and you can't tell a comedian that his intent is not for it to be a joke if he says it's a fucking joke. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't tell somebody what their intent is when they're speaking.
And
It ain't
honestly,
okay, go ahead.
I think, and I hear what you're saying, Wayne. I hear what you're saying, Jen. I think at this point, all of the standards that we held with this particular president, they don't matter. They like a lot of the stuff that he has done, like a president that has that could do some bullshit. He has done. He's talked about grabbing pussies. He's
He
talked
gonna do
about
what the fuck he want to
like
do.
that's why I said George is a comedian. This mug, he been sexually assaulting. He been getting away with it. Trump,
Wait,
is what I'm
wait,
saying.
What is that? I don't want to take. I don't want.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know how we got
well,
back on
Wait a
Trump.
minute, I want to ask this question.
ahead.
I want to ask this
I want
question.
to get off. I don't want to talk.
You
about
at
Trump.
work. You tell your
Let's get on
supervisor.
this.
You tell your supervisor at work, I'm gonna beat your ass. HR come. HR like, hey, you threatened your supervisor. You like, I said it, but I was just playing. I'm a comedian. Your ass is fired.
It's a different context. It's still a different
You
context.
said it's a
start telling
different
people I'm a
context, but
comedian.
what I'm trying to say is that when you really think about it, what's the difference in the context? If you're threatening somebody and you're saying that it's a joke, that's what it is about. It's saying that they can't say
didn't
your intent.
threaten them.
The result is going to be what
He
it
did.
is.
It's okay. It's not
HR
a. How is
said you
it?
gonna
First
beat
off,
their ass.
how is it a threat to say we'll do it for half? That is
Well,
coming
that's
from
why
more
I
of
asked
an
you, I said, what
offer.
was the threat?
Coming from
But
a
that's what-
comedian.
But that's the question I asked. I said, what was the threat?
That's what I'm saying. There
The,
is no
the
threat.
threat from Iran, what was the threat?
Oh, it was a ransom. I mean, not a ransom, but
It's bounty.
A bounty.
So they put a bounty on his head, basically saying, "Hey, we gonna kill him," and then somebody else come and say, "Hey, we'll do it for half." That's I hear the intent
No,
from the
I know what you
comedian,
mean.
but that's what they're looking at. If you just set up, you piggybacking
When
off
they
of
analyze
an
it,
actual
that's what they're
threat.
gonna look
That's
at.
what they're going to look at.
When
They're
they're
going to look
analyzing
at the
it.
actual threat and say, you just said you'll do this to the president
Trump
for half
is
the
a
price.
master at misdirection, so
And
he's going to go
manipulation.
full steam at that.
Oh yeah, just to prove a point.
Yep.
He
just
gonna
to prove
see
a point.
how far he can do. How
And he
far
don't like
can
Mexicans
take.
already.
Right, so he gonna go full steam. I feel you, and Trump feels exactly
That's
the way you
exact-
feel.
And the fact that
They're
they
gonna analyze
can
that,
do
what
it,
you just
that's
said.
what they're going to
Yeah.
look at. He can change what his intent was all he wants. They don't need his intent. His intent don't even matter based off of what they're
Of
allowed
course.
to do off of what he actually said.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate because I mean he's a comedian, but they gonna try to go.
This gonna be
Get 'em.
interesting. I'm watching this.
Well, yeah, I'm about
that's
to
gonna
make sure
definitely get
I
out.
stay up on this too.
Well, that was a very spirited conversation. I didn't
Way to kick off
plan
54.
on having.
Right. Way to kick off 55.
That was great. Well, let's get back to Dave Chappelle winning the Mark Twain Awards.
That's what's important here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And honestly, I had no idea what those awards are. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. So for the listeners and viewers out there, I'm going to go ahead and explain what those are. Did you before I do that, you guys know what those awards are?
The
Like,
Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Mark Twain
Yeah.
was a famous. He was.
I know who.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know,
so, yeah.
all right. So look, so the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor is an American award presented by the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts annually since 1998. Oh, so this isn't. This is some new shit. So it was named after, of course, the 19th century humorist Mark Twain, and I didn't know Mark Twain was a humorist.
Me either. I
Because
thought he was just a writer.
only book I
thought
knew
he-
was
I thought he
Huckleberry
was just a
Finn.
writer too.
It's the only book I ever knew about, and I knew the only thing about that I knew was he said nigger a lot. But hey, that's how they talk back then.
Right.
So it's presented to individuals who have had an impact on American society in ways similar to Mark Twain. That's pretty interesting. And did you guys know that the first recipient of this award was Richard Pryor?
Wow.
I can see that.
I can see that as well.
I can see that.
Now, I guess there's a lot of jokes tied up in there, but Dave Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle, the way that he came back, like we already mentioned Sticks and Stones. To me, that one special was better than the 4 he put
That he
out.
had, yeah.
I
the
agree.
first time.
20
The
guys.
very, very first one was dope. The ones in between, it was like,
I
But
like
that
them
last
all.
one. That last one.
The
I'm
Bird
talking about
Revelation.
in comparison to the
Right,
first
right,
one
right,
and the last one, the other two was
But
like. Yeah.
those 4 when he first came back was like, damn, he come back on some different shit.
Let's
They
see,
were
he had
all
10.
very different.
No,
That's
that was Chris.
Yeah,
Chris Rock with the tambourine.
he had Deep in the Heart of Texas, The Bird Eye Revelation,
I was just looking
and
at that,
2
yeah.
more, but I watched him so much. But Sticks and Stones, I think, is what got him this award.
I think that's
what
what
y'all think.
kind of what is it? Counterpult.
Catapulted.
That them too.
I think-
Counter and catter.
That's that public
I think
education.
even without Sticks and Stones, I think he wins it. But Sticks and Stones, I feel like it definitely iced it.
I wonder if this award only takes in consideration what you've done that past calendar year. What y'all think? We are not well versed on Mark Twain Awards, as y'all can see.
No,
Not-
we're
especially
not.
not
We're
on
not,
shit
but we
about
love
Mark
it.
Twain
Time
Award.
frame from what
We
you
just-
know,
I'm just happy for
I
Dave
still
Chappelle.
don't even know what they based like the regular music awards and stuff off of. I be like, man, like wait a minute,
The
this
Grammys
album
are
came
coming
out.
up.
It be stuff that came
Yeah,
out in
I wonder, like-
2018, late 2018.
Yeah, I be like,
that
what
they
is that? What is
consider for
this
year.
fiscal year that they're using? Like, what is
Right.
the time frame?
Yeah, so I wonder
It's probably like
what they
15
consider.
months.
Well,
I'm looking.
Grammys are coming up. You mentioned award shows. Are you guys into the Grammys?
Nah,
I'm not.
nah, I haven't been
Nope.
for a long time.
I ain't watched that shit.
Nah,
in a
like
minute.
I haven't been into any award shows for a long
either.
time, man. It's just it's
I
been,
just read
Since
about
the
it-
Source Awards.
Yeah,
Right.
man,
Yeah, the
like-
source. I just read
like I
about it
need
the next
Suge
day.
to come run
You
up
know what I'm
and say
saying? And
something.
Snoop to Crip walk across the stage and smack the shit
Y'all
out of
don't
somebody.
love West Coast?
Come on,
Oh,
man.
damn.
That's what music,
I
man.
remember that
Fuck
shit
that.
was
We ain't gonna get
crazy.
into that shit. But that was when it was entertaining, but really dangerous at the
Yeah,
same time.
very
It was
dangerous.
actually really dangerous.
Really entertaining.
Now-
It's
now-
very
now
dangerous.
They,
Yeah.
Man, it'd be all kind of makeup and dresses ripped
Fam.
all over the place for
Man.
these rappers.
Yeah, these
nowadays,
rappers now
man.
would
I don't know
not
what they got.
survive with if
Oh,
Pac
the
was, Pac was
the-
alive.
all
the
kind of
jeans
man
too tight.
bags
You
flying
can't
and
even-
getting, people getting smacked
The
with
jeans
purses.
too tight. You can't even get it walk too
Man,
fast.
it'd be a lot of pants ripped, won't it?
Damn.
Don't
Man,
want that
it's one
happening.
leg here. I mean, it's crazy.
A lot of them gonna be
They
happy to
couldn't
be
handle
asked
that.
out.
They couldn't handle that. That real hip hop, true hip hop era.
Man, they
These
can't even handle going and
young
freestyling in a
thuggers.
booth or whatever, let alone like getting into a real fight.
Yeah, I don't even think they freestyle anymore, honestly.
No, they don't freestyle.
'Cause
They can't even write raps,
You
let
know
alone
the
freestyle. What
cipher.
you saying?
They have triple
Nah,
X.
That's all written.
That-
That's
don't
all
get me-
written
don't-
because it's in the
No
song.
disrespect to the true lyricists that still exist, even from the new era.
Yeah.
You don't know about too many of them because they rap for real. That's not what this generation like. But that was an old conversation too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We
a
did that.
retread.
Remember,
We're not
remember,
gonna
I'm
retread that.
old now.
Matter of fact, since
Oh,
speaking
dang.
of retreads, I'm gonna go ahead and cross Colin Kaepernick, your light skinned best friend, off the list.
Here
That's
we
a
go.
fucking terrible retread.
He's so
Colin.
disrespectful.
So
Man.
let's
so
all right. So
disrespectful.
let's get right to let's get to some TV.
Okay.
TV.
Let's
Get to some
involved.
TV. There's been some good shit released on Netflix. Honestly,
Streaming
there's some
services.
good, interesting things on there.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart doc. Let's get to it.
Kevin Hart doc. I watched the whole thing. I binge watched.
Let's go ahead. Pop off the conversation with Kevin Hart because this is I think it was a brilliant piece of work on a couple different levels.
I
But go
agree.
ahead and go ahead, Asia.
I
Jones.
I appreciate him for allowing us into his life like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We
That's
saw
dope.
his children, on several of his wife. She talked about when she found out he was cheating, how that happened, the DM on Instagram that she received from somebody, which they have come out and talked about. We'll get to that in a minute. You see a lot about Kevin that you hear, but you're like, dang, he has a whole production company. I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Like he works, he's
The
a
Heartbeats?
hard,
Yeah, Heartbeat Productions.
yeah, he works a lot. To see his reaction to the old tweets and how that whole thing unfolded, how he kind of like bowed out, like I'm cool, y'all can have the Oscars. To see him talk about his mom, I didn't even know his mom had passed. To see his father,
Oh man, that was one of his. She talked about that in one of his shows.
a
couple of his shows.
right? But I didn't even. I think. This is me telling my age at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm about to say we got to
Shut up.
say it now because
This
you
is me-
revealing
this
too
is me
much
trying-
of
so
not
the
knowing.
one from 2009, I was 19, really didn't know much about Kevin Hart, but he talked about because his dad punched him in the head. When he was at the
All
funeral.
right, let's get this shit out the way. Wait a second. Asia was born in the fucking 1990.
I was
1990.
1990, nigga. Damn.
Goddamn. Shit.
So yeah, so I didn't even realize that. Shut up. For those younger millennials
Who
I
also
didn't
realize.
who didn't also didn't. So I'm with you. This is for
I don't
you.
know. I don't think this is a millennial thing. I think you have. If you're a Kevin Hart fan, you're gonna know some of this.
Yeah, I see.
Well, you learned a lot.
I learned
you learned
a
a
lot.
lot, right.
I
Okay.
saw a lot of his life. His decision to kind of because this whole time I thought he was fired from the Oscars. I didn't realize he basically quit.
Yeah.
And that was a boss ass move. However, me and Wayne have some different views on this particular point. I didn't think that he should have quit.
Oh. All right, well, we'll get to that. We'll put a pin in it. What are your thoughts on the doc?
No,
Put a pin in
I
that.
shared a lot of the same thoughts as Asia. I thought he did a great job of being transparent, with his life. I hate that that we live in a world where out of all of that he put out there, the main thing that everybody talks about is the cheating thing.
Which
And it's
I thought
just like,
was
man,
so
we
crazy.
knew about this already, but what I was looking at, what I really liked about it is that it was transparent to the point where if you look even past the adultery, like even looking at the
He said
relationship, the adultery.
Damn, he got
Damn,
real
man.
biblical.
Right,
on
right,
that
right,
Yeah,
right.
motherfucker.
man, that shit meant something.
But like
Damn.
even the relationship with his friends, like they showed when him and his trainer boss fell out.
That is so.
Like they got to
yeah.
arguing or whatever, but it shows that like we look at a lot of these superstars in a way where like some people be thinking these people are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I love Kevin's work ethic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I love the things that
Phenomenal.
he's doing for other up and coming comedians, man. But at the same time, I like that he showed that, hey, I'm human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
like
it's
it
like,
too.
hey, I got a great support system
And he
behind
got
me.
so many
but
shows.
I fuck up too.
He got
And
so many shows.
yeah, I thought it was definitely
was
a great
good.
project.
And his close knit group of friends, like he calls brothers. I thought that was you gotta have a team. Whatever you
He's
do,
blessed,
you
man.
He is blessed.
Look, I'm blessed to be able to have that too, man. Like watching that, like seeing how him and his friends interact. It reminded me of me and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't have that.
Right, minus the PJ.
Right.
Yeah,
Nah, that shit was dope though.
yeah, it
Nah,
was good.
I
It was
think
pretty good.
you know what I like. I love the part when he walked in the house and his wife looked at him and was like, "When the last time you showered?"
Oh, I thought that was
Again,
so
human.
funny.
Hey, he tried to lie about it, like
My nigga said,
I was in the other bathroom.
but when he tried to play it off like it was the guest bathroom, I showered in the guest house. And
Like
his
a
whole
little
face,
kid
I'm looking at him
lying.
like this nigga looked just like he did when his mama in them old ass videos in the kitchen. She like, "Shut up, Kevin."
Right.
And when he was like, "You know what, you got me," he just had to laugh and shit and do a fucking
Right.
stupid ass
Take
shoulder
his ass upstairs and got the
knee
shower
shuffle
done.
and getting
He
his.
got his
he
ass
didn't
together.
know. He
Yeah,
did.
he did go to get
I
in the
swear to
shower.
God, when
Well, I know he was going up the stairs and she told
That
him
little
to.
dance
later
was
on in the
funny.
scene, later on, it looked like I don't know, maybe that was a different day, but it looked like I thought it was the same day when he was meeting with
same shit
Chadwick
on
Boseman.
again. Oh,
Nah.
yeah.
I thought he had the
you know,
same
pretty-
shit.
No,
on.
no, it wasn't.
We'll
It
never
wasn't.
know.
It
Yeah, they,
I thought he had.
But
Oh, so he just weird workout shit a lot.
He
basically.
does.
Yeah.
He went to that Chase meeting. He had on a hoodie and some sweats and some compression
But
pants.
before
You know he got an endorsement with
Before
Nike
we
and
move
stuff.
on, though, I do
He's
want to
the
mention
first comedian to do so.
that dude is what I really appreciate is the work ethic. But honestly, I look at it from a couple different ways because also it is inspiring to see somebody work that hard, but it's also a little concerning. Like it ain't really concerning, but he made a
see
comment,
where
and
you're going.
it just made me realize that everybody has different levels of ambition and
Yeah.
goals and why they do what they do. I like how he spoke to the reason that he works so
mom.
hard. But he made the comment, and you know, a lot of people that aspire to be moguls also attached to that is the billionaire
That's what he
status
said.
that
Yeah.
he
I knew
wants
you
to
was
get.
going
He
with that,
mentioned,
yeah.
you know, if you are trying to make $1 billion, and I said,
But you know,
why do you want to make $1 billion? And looking at what you're doing right now, you're running yourself to the ground.
Yeah.
They showed that clip where he was damn near about to pass out in the interview.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like,
was
all
a-
right, how much of that ambition is based in vanity, or is it really about making your last name mean something? Because you've done that already.
Yeah.
The-
And I
Big
think that's
time.
another different kind of way
I
of looking
agree.
at shit.
I really agree with you on, you know, him possibly overexerting himself, but then I think back to his book, the what was it? I can't make this up. Or what was it
I
called?
didn't read any of his books.
But I
ain't
read
read
his first book,
I'm disagreeing with you.
and say what?
I was like, I ain't
It
read
was
it.
probably good.
No,
It was,
no,
it was great.
Oh, the book was great, but in that book, he explained his childhood, and he explained all of the different things that his mom had him doing. Like he stayed busy, and she did this to him.
He was a
to
swimmer,
keep,
right.
to keep him busy because she didn't want him going to
Be like his brother.
Be like his brother, and in the book, it explains a lot of that more in detail. Like he talked a little bit about it in the series, but in the book, it goes into detail where it's just like, damn, as a kid, it seemed like he would have
had a
been more
work ethic.
overwhelmed then than he is now. So I kind of look at it like it's kind of like a train them up type deal, where it's like, hey, you train your kids up, you know, to be a certain type of way. And I think that her having him like that, the work ethic just continued where
Yeah.
he's used to just being busy where he can does what he do. And I think that he gets his rest when he needs it.
Yeah, but when is enough? Because he definitely mentioned the billionaire thing several times.
It'll
in
never
the-
be enough if he loves it. It'll never be enough.
I guess you know, one of the things that I saw his wife was saying.
No, there's
I get to
there's
spend
a
time with my
caveat to
husband.
that. Yeah,
I get to spend time with my husband, or
Yeah,
you know,
there's a
I don't know.
caveat.
So it's just like he's phenomenal. He has an amazing work ethic. But it's just like when can you just sit here and enjoy this moment? We all sitting outside
says he
by the
doesn't?
pool. You know, he spoke a little bit about how if they want to spend the time with me, they're gonna have to lose this life. If you're gonna have me, or you're gonna lose this life. He said that several times.
And I could definitely say that his, maybe not the kids because they didn't ask to be here, but his wife,
She could go, huh?
no. I mean it in a way of like he had that established before the wife got there, so she knew what she was marrying.
Right.
She already knew. The
In other
kids-
words,
Stupid.
you could bounce,
yeah,
bitch.
like,
Right.
Yeah, like
Two
it's like
fingers.
what can you say? You already knew what it was,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't do that. You
Wayne
Yeah.
just said, wifey is expendable on my mission to a
Right,
billion.
because the kids
That-
ain't have to be
listen,
here.
Because the
That-
kids
that-
is
that-
my blood,
that-
bitch, you ain't.
Right.
Damn.
That's not what
And
I'm
that-
saying.
no,
what
it
I'm,
is.
What I'm saying
It
is
actually
that
is.
I'm not saying that the wife can go and she's expendable. I'm saying the wife already knew what it was coming into the situation, so I don't feel like she's really in position to try to change a life that he was living when she started to deal with it.
And that's
what
the
I'm
caveat
saying.
that I was going to, because when you talk about the ambition and how he's conditioned and how he was doing so many things as a child, and that is his drive to be a mogul and a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what you said specifically, but it was basically like some about I can't remember. But it made me think about
Something I said.
it made me think about
What show was this?
just now.
Oh,
nigga.
just now. Okay.
It's just-
Man,
and you forgot
come
it that
on,
quick?
man.
well, I'm trying to process everything everybody's saying. It's a lot of thoughts, goddamn it. Because this shit is interesting, man. Because I love what he put out there for us to soak up. Because we don't really get this much insight into
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. He's out of here.
Yeah.
Like we watched him get out of here. Like we watched the
Yeah.
rocket. He boarded the motherfucking ship,
He boarded
and
that
then that motherfucker took off.
He's off.
Remember
Yeah.
in the one clip when he was like he had put his foot on he's like, see this. This
Yeah.
be pressing on the gas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga, we watched this motherfucker press on
Letting
the
his
gas
foot off the gas.
and mash
Yeah. He
the
had to let
fuck
it off.
out.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying
He's
is,
big. He's huge.
I love the fact that he let us into that, and like we see how much goes into
Being
the
Kevin Hart.
drive to a billionaire. But what I'm saying is, to whatever it is that you said that I forgot, there's always sacrifice.
Yeah.
Are you willing, and to what Asia was saying, are you willing to sacrifice your wife and that particular part of your life on your road to your mogul? He's already a mogul.
Hey,
on your
you know
road
what?
to billionaire status.
That is
He's
a great
a mogul
question.
for sure.
That's a great question. And check this out. Now, based off the book again, based off the book.
See, he going to shit we don't know about.
Right, right.
I-
Go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
this will probably answer
Use
your
it.
question.
Use your ammo,
This will
nigga.
probably, like, a lot of the beef that him and his first wife had
Right.
was due to his journey of this success. Like, he was gone.
Right.
He was making decisions while
I
on the
think-
road. She kept trying to get him to give it up.
Well, he
like,
also
what are you doing?
said that he was fucking a lot of hoes on the side.
I mean,
He
yeah,
did- he
but I'm
did
talking
say
about,
that.
but
He
by
was
the time he
honest.
really got into doing a lot of that, they wasn't doing good. You know,
I don't
like,
know that part.
like I'm talking about, man. It was even a. Well,
But he
I
did
think
say
I
he
think
was
he talked
fucking some
about one part in the book where I think he actually
talk like that.
he actually wrecked her car. I think, like taking her car to go to drive to go road trip it to go and do like underground shows and stuff like that. I think it was at one point where he wrecked her car. I think her parents or something like that didn't even want her dealing with him and stuff like he was kind of viewed as a
The
loser.
ex-wife?
Yeah, the ex-wife.
I just like the joke when she popped up out the trunk and tried to act like she
Oh,
wasn't
my
in the trunk. It took off running down the street like, I'm going to see you later on and we're going to have to address this, right?
Right.
No, you didn't.
That wasn't
Wasn't
me.
nobody in the trunk, nigga.
Maybe I did have one of my other hoes in the car.
Right.
The nigga's a genius. But go ahead, get back to what I was
but-
saying.
He's a
But
genius.
with that being said, like even with what you're talking about, like the way he took off. What I like about the details in the book is that it goes through like when you look at Soul Plane. When I saw Soul Plane,
Classic.
I'm thinking Kevin Hart made it. But in the book, he talking
yeah.
about like during Soul Plane, he was broke.
Yeah,
he
he
was
said
still
that.
struggling.
He was poor.
Like when we thought that he made it, he wasn't even
He
beginning
had-
yet.
Yep.
He was still in grind mode, still broke, trying to get money.
He said
You
it
know.
wasn't really until About Last Night where stuff really start to shift. About Last Night
Last
with
Night, okay.
Regina.
Regina Hall,
Regina
and,
Hall.
and the one
He
with
said-
light skinned dude.
Terrence,
No,
Yeah, and then The Wedding Ringer. He said when The Wedding Ringer
Yeah.
and About Last Night was coming, I
That
didn't
movie was
see either.
trash.
I didn't see either.
Wedding Ringer.
But he had
terrible.
crossed over with Wedding Ringer because of the
Wedding
white
Ringer
people.
was funny to
he had
me.
crossed over. So he said it wasn't
I
really
thought he
until
crossed
the
over
end.
with when he did the movie with Will Ferrell, Get Hard.
Get Hard.
That shit
Yeah,
was funny.
that was after. Yeah,
Oh, that was afterwards?
that was after.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, all right, my
They
bad.
said he really started. He said that's when he really started to see money for real. Like Soul Plane, he said he was still broke. He said he was still.
Well,
kinda,
you know that's
struggling.
when you made it when they started putting you in movies with white
Well,
people.
I saw Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Me and Shirley saw Kevin Hart at the Improv after he did Soul Plane. Like
wow.
we seen him at the
Short
old
haircut.
Cleveland
See,
Improv
see
before
that
they
if
remodeled.
he's still doing the improv at that
Yeah,
point, you know
yeah.
he's still grinding.
Yeah,
he was definitely
still
still
grinding.
grinding
Wow.
for sure.
Mhm.
Working on his material. This was before he did the Seriously Funny at downtown, which
Right.
is to
Right.
me one of his. I think that's still my
That was
favorite Kevin
that
Hart.
was
That's
the-
definitely my favorite Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Laugh
I
at My
love
Pain
Laugh at
really
My
took.
Pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that
That's
took.
I
one
off.
like
with
the
their
one
mom.
after Laughing My Pain.
Let me explain.
Where
Let
he
me
was-
explain.
Let me
I like
explain.
Let Me
Yeah.
Explain.
Is that the one where he was putting fire on the bitches?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when he
and
talk-
Laugh
put-
at My Pain
yeah.
was the one he talked about his mom passed. But Seriously Funny was the one he was like, Cleveland got some slushy snow.
Yeah, that's
He's like,
Seriously
oh,
Funny.
shit. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
it was
So
funny.
then
Yeah.
Laugh at My Pain was when he was
Right.
talking about his parents, and then the next one, what did we just?
Let Me Explain.
Let Me Explain. Yeah, Let Me Explain. That one was funny to me.
Yeah, and they broke that down in this series. I'm not sure if you got to those
I
episodes.
feel like
yet.
you know what? I feel like Wayne has fucking somehow worked us off of the question that I posed to him. You're
Why,
you're
dude?
crafty because I directed the question to you.
And you talking about Trump is good at misdirection.
You asked me about the series, and I told you what I thought.
No, see what you're a genius.
What did you say?
I asked him a question about whether it's the sacrificing your wife on your way to the billionaire shit.
I told
What
you
did
about
say?
that.
What was your answer?
I said that
I don't remember.
I was saying that with his previous wife, I feel like that a lot of reasons why they
No.
had the problems that they had was due to him sacrificing their relationship for the career. So with that being said, I think if it came down to it, yeah, I believe that he would do it again. He's been on this path
No,
of
no, no.
success. If he's
I
on
was asking from your perspective. If you were on the road.
oh,
to
see,
it,
I didn't know you was asking for me.
Yeah.
If that was
I said, would you like how much like I know you're a very ambitious person. And I'm not, let's say it was Hayne instead of Wayne that we're talking about, right?
No, we can keep it
Hayne.
Wayne, and I'm about to just tell you.
Hayne.
I'm about to just keep it 100 with you. All right,
Keep it
so
100.
check this out. When me and my wife started dating, because of the new relationship, sometimes you can get deterred from some of your goals and everything like that. And I started to have a lot of fun with my wife, and I started to notice that some of the things that I was like really, striving towards, I started to like fall off a little bit. But what I did was when things got kind of like got very, very solid, we had to kind of come back to the table and have a discussion about not just mine, but her goals as well, to say, hey, although we still doing well, we got to get back on task of doing the stuff that it is that we was doing. And I let her know I'm not going to be deterred from that. She understood, man. I've been on my grind. She been on her grind. Of course, we a couple, man. We have our lazy moments because we have to enjoy and love each other. But at the same time, the focus is still there, and we still going to it. So if it came down to it, and she put me in a position to have to sacrifice something that she already knew what the deal was beforehand, I'm not going to, especially when what I'm striving towards is not just about my wife. It's about me leaving a legacy behind for my entire family.
Right.
So I'm not going to allow myself to be with somebody that's going to be selfish enough to take me away from something that's that important to me, that was important to me before you even came along. So you either on board or you're not.
His IG name is my real legacy. He's for real about his
He's
legacy.
good about the
And his
Here we
his
go. I
rap-
thought you was going to leave it at that.
and his rap name was Legacy too.
legacy.
I'm glad you threw in was.
See?
Yeah.
Was like I like that you said that, and I hope Justin you also answered it. I'm gonna answer it as a married woman because when I first got into my relationship, I was kind of just starting into radio. I'm on radio. I'm a writer. I'm a director. I do all of these things. I work in the community. So in my experience being with my husband before we got married, I've had to sacrifice time with my husband and my son. I went on a promotional tour for my podcast.
Shout it out.
To the Culture Podcast. It's gonna come back. I'm super busy. So I went on a promotional tour. I went to New York and I went to all the 5 boroughs, and I was gone from home for like 6 days. And it was I didn't go with a team or anything because a lot of my friends are still in New York. So I had that feeling of, is this what it's going to be like when I'm really out here for real? And it felt weird because, I love, like a lot of my friends are single. My one friend that's in a relationship, she's getting married. So a lot of my friends are still living that single life, and it's just, for me it felt weird because I had become a family person. We had just had our son, and I had become a family girl at this point. So it was different for me, and I sacrificed that time. I was gone for like 7 days, leaving my little baby with my husband, and it was just different.
Yeah.
And I had all these, and I still have my dreams and aspirations. A lot of the things that I set out to do when I first got with my husband, I was like, I have a lot of goals. I love to talk. I'm on podcasts. So a lot of the things that I have done so far, I wasn't on the radio when I got with my husband. So I think it's about a balance, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think the sacrifice, cause I'm not saying that Kevin's not he got real money, but when you're out here and you still in that grind, it's about that balance. And if you in a relationship and your partner understands that before you got together, and you can see the growth, because when you get with somebody, you shouldn't be going backwards. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there should be an understanding from that partner. Say, I understand sometimes you might have to sacrifice time, but it's for the betterment of our union.
Yeah. You know what? Like, just hearing you talk about that, it made me think, like, where I'm blessed to have the wife that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's Woman Crush Wednesday, so I had to plug that in.
I see you.
No,
This
see
nigga be loving on his wife every podcast.
I see you.
I'm trying to
He said
figure
he
out
loves like every podcast.
what is he trying to
she gotta
He
go.
about to
do. What
cry.
is he
He about to
working
cry
on right now, man?
He
He
about to
got
cry.
something up his sleeve.
No, but what I want to say is that me and my wife have very, very similar business interests.
Mm-hmm.
So because we have very similar business interests, we can date while doing business.
That's a good thing.
So it makes it where I don't necessarily have to really sacrifice too much time, because there's certain things that we can do together. Like, if she wants to, she could come down here and do the podcast.
That's a blessing.
That's just not her thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like she's a realtor in addition to being an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we sit down and talk about houses. We invest together. These are things that we can do together,
real
and
boss
we're
moves.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to us being in two completely separate industries where we don't know nothing about what the other person does.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even have a business conversation that way, unless I'm just sitting there listening to you like, what, for real? Listening to you about work, but like, that's different. But we have a genuine interest in what we talk about, because we, like I said, we share similar business interests.
I think that do y'all want to know what I think about this?
I want to hear you answer this question that you posed to us. Shit, nigga.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on a road. I'm not on a road to being a billionaire. That's definitely not a goal of mine. I don't even have the goal of being a millionaire. Money ain't even a part of really any of my goals, honestly.
Okay.
So for me, it would be easy for me to answer this question because money isn't a motivation of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you a situation where Shirley can kick rocks.
Nigga.
Now,
Shirley, come get this. Shirley, come get him.
Shirley, she trying to stop this shit I'm doing right here, which is so pure to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we got a problem. Because that's when now you're showing some character flaws. Like,
It's what you love.
yeah, anyone that's
You have a
willing to
passion
shit
for
on
it.
what the fuck you love. Now, if I did love money and you trying to get in the way of my ultimate love of money goal, which is a billion, then yeah, you can kick rocks too. So in that sense, I would say that whatever you love and your passion is, I hate that word passion, it's
Or
so
your
generic
purpose.
to me. But whatever fulfills you, whatever makes you feel whole, complete, satisfied, you shouldn't let anyone stand in the way of that. And as long as it's not hurting or harming anyone, I feel like the person that you're spending life with, your partner, if you will, should be supportive of that. And if they can't be supportive of that, then they have to look themselves in the mirror and figure out what internal issues they need to work on.
Right.
To stop being a fucking hater.
Right.
God damn it.
Because
that's
when you don't
basically
have
what you're doing.
Yeah, because when you don't
It's
have
either being
something,
a hater or just being selfish.
yeah, being a hater or being
Both are
selfish,
problems.
or feeling maybe insecure that you don't have those type of aspirations, or you don't
yeah.
know what your aspirations are. So that's what you definitely need to look at yourself.
Tequila, my friend.
It is, man. I told you I was
Man, I can
cracking
smell
up.
Oh, it's
that.
going.
I can smell
It's
that.
going.
It's called Casa de Noble.
Mm.
Oh, speaking of women, man, listen. I had some funny shit pop up. I won't get into any detail. No names, please. But I've
Jesus.
had trouble with women in the past 2 weeks. God damn it. Women are, and I'm not scared to say this in front of you, but I know you
The
feel what
devil?
I'm talking about. They're not the devil. How
Oh.
dare you? Curse you.
Oh, I was just wondering if that was what you were going to say.
No,
okay,
they ain't the devil.
Okay.
But women are difficult. Women are difficult because I'm learning that they see things just through a different lens.
Can I
I
interject?
love my wife.
Go ahead.
Sick women are difficult.
No,
I think-
I don't want to. I don't
I
want to say
think-
that.
I
Not sick.
think-
Sick women?
Yeah, that's kind of
Sick.
harsh. But go ahead and explain.
I'm gonna say sick because
Go ahead and explain. Now that's go. Yeah, go ahead.
you know what?
That's
I'm
just
gonna
going back to mental
I'm gonna
health.
go exactly. That is what I'm going for. So I'm gonna say my thing. Before, like, there has been a time, and like I always in my I don't want to feel like I'm being played. I don't, because there's something in me that is just like holding on to some past
That's also
situation.
a pride situation because men don't like to feel played either.
I don't
I
like to feel
definitely
played, and I don't know if it because and I say that a lot because like I'm getting into a altercation or argument with my husband. I'd be like, "Oh, you trying to play me?" And that can be difficult because there is something in me, and I'm being very transparent with this, that I don't want someone to try to play me and to be somebody. Don't try to play me. You trying to play me. You trying to play me. That is the main thing.
You trying to insult my intelligence.
That's how I feel. But even
That's
though
a pet
I know
peeve of mine.
even though when I know that's not who you are, that's not your intentions, I just automatically think you just trying to pull the wool over my head. And I'm saying that to say there is something in me that can't let something go. There is something that is unhealed, unwell. That's what makes that part about me difficult.
So are you saying the sick part because you consider yourself to be sick?
I don't consider myself to be sick, but there is something within me that is unwell.
Which
So when you're-
leads to difficult situations
what
that you're
leads-
speaking of.
Exactly.
I'm
I
going to
can
tell you.
cause-
I'm going to tell you in my personal opinion what that thing is in you. I think it's being a woman.
Yeah.
Nigga.
And I'm telling you, it go back to what I
I'm
said.
dead serious. I'm not even
Women-
saying that to insult you. We're
No.
different.
Yeah, women see. That's what I'm talking about.
We're
Women
different.
see things from a different lens, and I'll explain why I'm saying this too.
Expand.
There were a few situations that have occurred that have brought up like both ends of the spectrum for me when it comes to dealing with women and how they view things. It can so you can interpret something completely different than how we interpret it just from the mental state that y'all come from as being women. I don't know whether it's just that y'all are just vulnerable, and I'm just talking
Sensitive.
about your interactions with men specifically, not with other women. I don't know what that is or it comes from, but I can type. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna stop typing messages to women. Goddamn it, that shit don't work. They do not. They will read a message
In a different tone.
in a completely different tone than when the way it's sent. Now look, I did some shit earlier. I was full transparency. I sent a message, right, to a woman, right? Know her. We've been knowing each other since like high school. Not even high school, like middle school, right? Sent a message, right? She replied, "Ha, we laughing. Just joking, right?" I replied back. And then I put my phone down because that was it. I don't really do too much going back and forth. And then I looked at the shit and I'm like, wait a second.
Oh, damn.
That could possibly not be interpreted correctly. Like the way that I meant it, I'm like, but then I was like, should I try to correct
Fix
it?
it? Right.
Should I type something else? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just leave this shit alone because
damn.
that could lead to further misunderstandings. So I was like, first off, texting is just bad in general.
It is bad.
Everything's taken out
However,
of context.
I love to text.
I do too.
What do I do?
Yeah,
You doing what you
sometimes
do,
I prefer to
Playboy?
text.
I don't
Keep
like
doing
talking
what
on
you
the
do.
phone. But when it comes to this conversation, talking on the phone to women is much better as far as them being able to understand what you're saying than texting. Not saying they will, Because you can still talk
But
to a
it's a
woman
better
face to face,
percentage-
and they will not want to know what the fuck you talking
But
about.
it's a higher percentage of that we will understand.
Hey, wait a minute.
Verbally.
It's funny that you just said that because that's what I was thinking the whole time that you was talking about this text message. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you could verbally say something and it still be taken out of context. And then here's the real crazy part about it. You could sit up there and be like, well, hold on. You took that the wrong way. What I meant by that was this. And then it'd be like, by that point, y'all have already
she's dug in. She's dug in
y'all
on what she
head,
think.
Rage
in
has
y'all
already
head, what y'all,
begun.
how y'all took it is all that matters at that point. It could be re-explained, it could be corrected, whatever. To be like, hold up, all right, you're actually taking that different from what I was trying to actually say to you. This is what I meant, and it's like, so what? This is how I feel.
Like Kevin Hart said, let
How
me
I-
explain.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me
like
explain.
this is how I feel, and it's nothing that you could say. It don't matter what you meant. This is how I feel at this point, and we have to deal with that. And it's like, to me, it's like, where's the maturity level of understanding that, hey, if you sat up there and said something to me and you misspeak, all right, well, what did you mean? Okay, we're gonna address what you really meant. But if I say something,
Just
you know what I'm saying,
apologize.
then it's like, no, I got to go based off of how you took it and have to deal with the attitude. Now,
So just
why?
apologize.
Please answer on behalf of all women, Asia Jones.
This is for each and every trillion women. Just apologize.
Apologize about what?
I apologize that you took it that way.
And then it's going to be like, no, and then it's going to, you know what it's going to turn into? I apologize that you took it that way, but this is what I meant. And it's going to be like, no, that's what you said.
So look, I apologize for bothering you. I try to do general apologies too, because I can sometimes.
Hold on, wait.
What am I
Wait a
apologizing
second.
for?
Let me ask. I need a clarity question. Are you
Yes.
speaking on behalf of women's response to the men, or what a man should say to a woman?
I'm speaking
no,
on.
what
I'm
we should
speaking
say.
on behalf of what the men should say to the woman.
So we should apologize. We should apologize for their error.
Well, I want to know.
Yeah.
I would like to know. I would like to know how you feel about what he just said. Give us the woman's perspective when it comes to what we just said. Because do you agree that you guys just see things a little bit differently?
I agree.
And is it usually a lot worse in you guys' minds than what the situation is?
And so I hate to be put on to represent women because I'm not your typical. Like I'm really, really different. Like I'm cool with a lot of people, a lot of guys, a lot.
You'd be surprised at how
I'm
much you're not different.
But yeah, I guess so. But I consider myself a homegirl of both men and women. You know, because I can understand.
Down the way.
Right.
Round the way.
You know, I'm
Right.
round the way girl.
Yeah.
I consider that. So for me, and I'm a very, very honest person. First and foremost, I'm very honest with myself. And I'm not afraid to be honest about myself to others because I know myself. So don't try to play me because I already know.
respect that.
That's
Already,
key.
I
you
can
understand what I'm
respect
saying?
that.
I'm
That's
very
key.
honest with myself.
A lot of people not honest with
They're
themselves.
not, and that is the difference. That is what sets my perspective that I'm gonna give apart because I'm speaking for a lot of women that know themselves.
You know,
Like you be on some trash. I know I be on some motherfucking trash, and I hate to apologize.
but wait a minute, hold up.
You know?
Now listen to what you just said right there. You said you know you be on some trash and you hate to apologize. This is something that it is that I notice a lot about women is that, like, okay, so right here in the conversation with us, you're able to admit all of this.
Yes.
How do you handle it in the
Shit.
heat of the moment, though?
Like even just recently we had a dispute and I was wrong, but I was trying. Hopefully he ain't listen. I tried to manipulate the situation.
Oh, he gonna find this podcast somehow.
Fuck.
I'm sending it to him.
I tried to manipulate it and say, well, that's what you said, but that's funny how y'all talking about how we can change something. That's what you said, but I don't think that's what you meant. And he's like, that sounds stupid. I'm like, fuck. I was like, you know what? Instead of this escalating, and I'm like, it's a new year. Instead of this escalating, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to apologize to you.
Whoa, that's amazing.
We've had a breakthrough this year. 2020 is going to be a great year.
Okay, but would you say in
amazing
would you
right
say
there.
in some
I was like,
a
fuck.
lot of situations that people can admit their flaws in like general discussions like this, but then when the situation is occurring, all of that understanding of themselves fly out the window when it comes to actually handling the situation appropriately at the time that the situations are occurring?
I'm gonna say this because I was that person. I'm like, no, I'm cool, I'm good. But it's just like drama is literally draining, especially when you know you're the one causing it. It's so
wow.
That's a very interesting perspective.
Seriously, for real. And you're like,
but it's not many women that admit that they're the ones that's creating.
And this is why I'm gonna be with my husband forever, and this is gonna be a great year.
Expound on that, please.
Because you know what, and like I said, I do a lot of self-reflection. I talk about this type of stuff all the time, and it's just like it's draining. And then you see, like I've seen situations where, you know, okay, I have some friends. It's a girl and her dude, and she's so insecure, and she always causes drama. And even when I start beginning to heal, hearing her stuff start to drain me. And I'm like, am I like this? In any type of way. I might not be insecure. Because, you know,
what happened was
he talk about her.
It was a mirror in front of you.
Exactly. I'm like, am I like that? God, I don't want to be like that. And it's just like, fuck, I have to, you know, heal people. And then those heal people get rid of them, the bullshit. Because it was draining to hear. And then I would call her and tell her certain shit. I'm like, shit, she probably looking at me like, am I like that?
Just a bunch of negative energy just circulating.
Just circulating. So that's when you got to look inside yourself. It's not about religion or anything. It's about, sis, you're draining yourself.
Man.
You need to allow yourself to forgive yourself. For you to do that, you got to be honest, not just with yourself, though. Yeah. Like, I can sit here honest with myself all day and then tell y'all, come out here, tell y'all some bullshit.
Yeah, and then you got some people that can sit up there and be honest with themselves, but then turn right back around and don't do anything to actually improve the situation.
And they need to break something within them, because for you to talk all this good thing, and you know what, I want my husband to see this, because for me, I felt like I grew. Like, you know, I've changed.
You like in that moment?
I was like, fuck. In my brain, I was like, damn. You know, it was just like, fuck.
I know that feeling, though, because you like, damn.
It was going to escalate. It was
like,
going to escalate.
I did some grown-up shit just now.
And I felt good.
Hey, listen, that was one of the things that actually attracted me to my wife. Here I go, wifey again. But that was one of the things.
He's working on something.
But
that's beautiful.
When me and her first started dating, I remember the first time that there was a situation that occurred that, you know, where I had to actually, you know, address something with her. Now, I'm talking about I came and addressed it damn near already ready to, you know, I'm ready to go at it, because I'd already I had been in a toxic situation previously for so long that it just became almost like normal, where it was just like, I already know this about to be some BS.
Right.
And I brought it to her attention, you know, what my issue was, and she said, I understand it won't happen again. And it kind of like what the fuck? Kind of like fucked me up, because it's like I got all of this shit locked and loaded or whatever, and then it was like, so I ain't gonna be able to use none of this shit. Like, I feel like I packed a big ass bag, went out of town, and ain't wearing none of this shit.
Just save it for later.
Didn't that feel crazy though? Right.
I'm gonna need this shit at some point.
Absolutely.
That's like Pinky asking the question on was it Friday? Next Friday. Shut up. He kept asking him a question.
Right. Shut up.
Right. It's like that. It's
Where
like,
the weed at?
I can't. He about to end.
Say another motherfucking word, nigga.
Now,
this shit is over.
Oh my God.
I ain't playing, nigga.
For real. And it's just like, didn't that made you feel kind of crazy? Like, did that just happen?
Right.
Did she just apologize, straighten that shit up with me?
It totally did.
So it's just like, you know, getting back to what you should say to the misunderstanding or whatnot. I did not mean it in anything derogatory. And one thing you shouldn't say, men shouldn't say, I ain't mean it like that. First of all, what's like that? What? And
I'm glad you said that.
What's like that?
Let me speak to that, because what I was about to say, even before you said that, was I'm really, really big on, I'm really kind of no nonsense when it comes to meaning what you say, saying what you mean. And as adults, I feel like I'm not in the space to really allow excuses for people. I think you're old enough, you're mature enough, you've handled and been involved and overcome enough situations in life to know how to speak your mind, or you should work on being able to speak your mind.
Use your words.
Use your words.
You need to own what you say and own what you do.
Hey, that's real.
What you just spoke to is owning what you said and what you do. And you, in that moment, you're like, I'm gonna own my shit. Maybe you haven't done that as much in the past.
Yeah.
When it's like you actually being an ass.
Right.
Like, damn, I'm an ass. I don't normally admit that I'm being an ass, but I'm about to do this because I'm finna own all my shit maybe in 2020. I don't know.
Being accountable for yourself.
Be accountable for
For
your
you.
shit. Because I do that to myself. Nigga, I sit down this motherfucker with a microphone in front of my face and I say all type of shit.
Right.
If you come back and question anything I say, I will fucking explain it.
Yeah.
I will tell you if I meant it, if I fucked up, if I need to apologize, or if I'm standing on it. Either way, I'm owning it.
Look, this
You're
how I be
accountable.
feeling. This how I be feeling when it comes to like who I'm about to get a whooping. Like what's getting ready to happen? And
You gonna get in trouble?
So I'm gonna be transparent for a little bit. Like this do be something that like me and my wife have a thing with. Like if it do be one of those situations where she's taking something out of context and I explain it, if she doesn't want to take the part that I explain, I'm looking at it like this: like all the times that it is that I do something purposely messed up. Like I said, I'd be like, yeah, I totally did that to fuck with you, or I totally did that to piss you off. And like, if I'm doing it to piss you off, I'm gonna tell you because I don't care, and I knew what my intention was. But if I'm telling you that you're taking that the wrong way, and I'm explaining it to you, I'm not saying this because I'm scared of your reaction. I'm saying it because that's what the truth is. That's really what it is. If I'm really trying to fuck with you, trust me, you're gonna know it because I'm salty anyway. So I want you to be mad. But if I, it's different when I'm telling.
If you watching, make sure you get on him when he get to the house. I'm telling.
I told her that. I told her that. Look, I'm pointing at the camera.
Look,
look,
but
I
look, she gonna be watching this like you being real aggressive right now. Now look though, here's the thing. Damn, what the fuck was I?
Yeah, don't post this as the clip because she gonna see it.
Oh
like,
no, I told you
ASAP.
this is probably going to be the first full video that you're going to be able to watch of the podcast. So yeah, I'm sorry. There's no editing that shit out.
Damn it.
That's it.
But when it comes to being honest and things like that, I think that people receiving your honesty feel some type of way because they're not used to being honest themselves.
Absolutely.
So they're like, is he really telling the truth? Because they find it so hard that maybe it's a difficult conversation.
It's like an alien.
They'd be like, damn, if this situation was reversed on me, I wouldn't be comfortable being truthful. So maybe this motherfucker's not being truthful. And they kind of, what's the word when you put your feelings and shit on someone else? You're projecting.
You're projecting.
You're projecting your own insecurities or what you're not comfortable with on what this person is doing in that moment.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time believing people when they're actually being honest. To speak to what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like, you hear people always at the end of the year, I'm cutting these people off. I'm cutting these people.
Just do it.
Oh, my God.
My thing is,
I hate that.
I have not had to do that because I don't fuck with people I can't be myself around. I don't fuck with people I don't like. I don't fuck with people that don't like me. I don't have to cut nobody off. If God has allowed me to get so good with my discernment on people's fucking spirits. When I walk in a room, I'm like, oh yeah, this bitch is a thought. This nigga right here, he gonna steal all of my shit. And this bitch is toxic. So that type of thing does not come with you just saying, oh, I'm gonna just cut somebody off. There's a reason every fucking year you gotta cut somebody off.
But here's my thing. I agree with you there.
You have to. For you to be cutting people off for the last 10 years. Something ain't right.
What about the girl that they showed? Like they always got some kind of meme with some girl stepping into the next year, and it's always some trash bag or something that somebody leaving behind with.
You doing that every
all of
year?
this stuff. And it's like you posting the same thing. So you mean to tell me you didn't leave none of that stuff behind
in 2017?
Every year is a fucking
1993.
every year is a TD Jakes sermon.
Right. So it's just like when it goes back to what Justin was saying about being accountable for your own shit. I'm going to say what the fuck I need to say because I know I'm going to be honest with me. So there should be no reason I have an issue being honest with you. There is no fear. Like you said, are you going to get a whooping? You should not fear confrontation. You should not fear the truth because you've dealt with that shit within yourself.
Here it is.
And that is real as fuck. And the motherfucker will project their own insecurities and their hurt and their pain on you.
Yes.
Because you're crazy, because I want to have a comment. I'm trying to get through to you to tell you how this shit made me feel, to tell you I want to clear this up. I don't have to clear this shit up with you, but this is a part of my personal healing. So now you looking at me like I'm the problem?
Well, some of these people are attention seeking too. Because think about it.
Oh,
think
boy.
about this real quick.
Wow.
I'm cutting motherfuckers off in 2020. You didn't posted that on your social media. Okay.
That
First of
attention thing
all,
is real.
what reason did you really post that? Did you post that because there was somebody in particular that you wanted to
Are
know
you
that?
subbing?
Because look, if you
Yeah,
had
they
somebody
trying to get an amen.
if you had somebody that you was directing that to, then be bold enough to go ahead and tag that person. Other than that, shut up, because the reality of it is you only saying it because you hoping that somebody come on there and be like, well, I hope you're not cutting me off, or hey, well, what's going on? Call me. What you going through?
Yep.
Like you just trying to get
I
some
hate
attention. If you sit up there and look up and have that post sitting there and it don't get no likes and no comments or whatever, you gonna feel like an asshole.
Yeah,
like man, keep that.
Because you the one that got cut
keep that
off.
sensitive frustration up off of social media because you're making yourself look like a fool.
Frustration.
Yeah, and that's another like sensitive frustration. I'm gonna be putting that in my my little dictionary book.
Man, you know how we do
My
it.
little, I'm putting that motherfucker. I'm saying that shit.
Sensitive
Sensitive
frustration.
frustration. That's real as fuck,
Malian.
and people love attention, and they take social
It's the new
media to the
drug.
next. Right, that social media shit is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you have to have this amount of likes, this amount of followers.
Dopamine.
Right. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these people, they're posting all of these things and you in the house by yourself. Ain't nobody talking to you.
Yeah.
And those are times that you need to look at you. You need to dig in whatever you got to dig in. Okay, why is this continually happen? I used to be a runner. Like as I was growing up, I didn't want to deal with arguments with my mom, so I would always want to race. Like I was always running somewhere. And it kind of showed in my relationships as I had got older. Like arguments, I would just run. I left the whole ass state. We were in Delaware. My ex, when I was getting out, I had a boyfriend. We were visiting Delaware. I left the state of Delaware, went back to New York because I didn't want to talk about a situation. I was a runner.
You know what? That's interesting that you say that, because this is something that it is that I notice about a lot of people, that you ever notice those people, they talk real big, like they got all of these goals and everything like that, but the person that they really are doesn't reflect what it is that they want to be. So what it is that I know, what it is this. What it is this is, I feel like a lot of people mean well, but it's easier to stay the same than it is to actually progress. Like if you really think about it, going through a growth period is not easy.
It's not.
There's a discipline and there's certain actions that come with that, and it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you're not until you get to that point where you're really, really forced to have to make that decision to really make those changes. You're not going to. It's just something that sounds good, but you've become comfortable in the bullshit that you've remained in all this time.
Well,
so with that being said, that's why. So what ends up happening is that they would rather get defensive about their bullshit than to keep it real with themselves, to say it's time for me to level up. You right. These are the changes that it is that I need to make in my life.
Sensitive frustration.
goddamn.
Frustration.
Preach, nigga. High five that
man,
shit.
man.
Hey, man. This nigga just had a fucking sermonette, man. You had a sermonette, man.
But that's real.
That's real shit, though.
Cause you know, like you said, going through that changes and progressing, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be in pain. You're gonna be.
It's a dark place.
It's a dark place.
Yeah.
You gotta go through it.
Absolutely.
When they're making diamonds, it's not all clean.
Chris.
It's pressure. You understand what I'm saying? That pressure
is what do
that,
it.
Man, but that diamond.
Hey, but
$2 million.
But that
diamond.
pressure, being under that pressure, man. Listen, I was in that place, man, and what I learned about myself, and I tell a lot of people this, is that, it was a finger pointing thing with me, where it was like no matter what my actions were, I always found myself pointing the finger at somebody else.
Yeah.
When it got to the point where I completely ignored what the other people had done, whether it was valid or not.
Yeah.
When I started to just focus on my own actions and address myself,
That's a good
that's
word,
when the real
y'all.
growth began or whatever. Like, yeah, I can't change them, but I can't allow them to be an excuse for why I'm the way that I am.
Damn, we
so
done turned
that's
into
where I
like
gotta actually like do better.
We done turned
Yep.
into some super
And that's
positive
why-
shit right now.
And
I'm
that's
feeling.
why
Go
I
ahead.
right, and that's why I no longer run, because it don't matter. I can go from this place to that place. I'm always running to the same fucking issues.
Yeah,
Because it's me.
because it's you.
This a whole. I'm not like everybody in the world evil. Everybody against
Yeah.
me. It's you have there, and that is the problem with a lot of people because they're like you said, you were pointing, and I was running from the next one to the next one. I'm like, damn, everybody crazy.
But here's
That's
what I
not
can
true,
here's
though.
what I can respect though. You got some people that's like, hey, this is who I am, and they'll own it and just be like, my thing is the people that try to act like the shit that they're doing is
Is
it's
okay.
nothing
Like they
wrong
shit
with
don't
like
stink.
they,
Yep.
like right. You sit
Yep.
up here, you know that you're wrong, but because you can't accept that truth about yourself, you want to argue it and try to fight and try to point the finger
put
at
it on
others. But
somebody
then you
else.
got some people that's fucked up people but they know it and they embrace it and be like, so I can respect that over somebody that's trying to be phony about their actions.
Because you're giving me the option to fuck with you or not.
Exactly. At
You
least
ain't gonna
I
force-
know.
at
At least
least
I
I
know what
know-
I'm dealing with, opposed to you telling me I'm dealing with one thing, doing
right.
something different, but then you don't understand why I don't fuck with you because you're trying to disguise.
Yeah.
You're trying to mask
yeah.
it with some
And
bullshit.
that
I
ladies
You
can't
and
do
talking
that.
up in this sermon
That,
today.
ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm married. See, this is why I don't go through that whole cycle of, or I should say, I didn't want to go through that whole cycle of trying to figure out who the fuck these people are.
Right.
Like you just said some deep ass shit. That's a struggle to try to figure out who's
The representative.
who's
Damn.
willing to show me who the fuck they are, and how long is it gonna take before I see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that shit is that's just
Don't
And then
drag
once
me
I see
on.
you,
I feel-
don't.
I
Hey,
feel
listen.
for y'all out
Don't
there.
take my choice away.
Yeah. Let me have.
That's one of the important things. in a
Yeah,
relationship.
like if
Don't
you
take
used
my choice
if you
away.
used to be a man, you need to let me know.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
right. Hey, but look, but you know what? That's something that's
Let
normally
me
said
choose
about
my
women.
partner.
I need to choose if I
with
want a
dudes,
man.
dudes is normally the ones acting a certain way in the relationship,
So
and you know, and
stupid.
women are normally stuck in some relationship because you know they done been played.
Yeah.
but it go both ways.
Yeah, but
and
let
I ain't
me
even
know
talking
I'm
about just in
taught.
relationships. I'm talking about that relationship could be a friendship, it could be a
Friendship.
work, anything.
Even with family, you know, a lot of people don't think that that's just because we had the same blood. You not toxic. Let me
The
know.
most toxic
Let me
ones.
know you used to do porn,
I mean, right? So I can check it out.
so I can fucking
Right,
be
you know what
prepared.
I'm saying?
I get my
Right.
penicillin.
Right. So it's just like
let me
you know,
let me get my running shoes. I'm out.
right. So it's like
Right, we gonna turn into Asia and run. I'm a runner.
I'm a
now.
runner, right,
I'm
right.
into a runner.
That's how the motherfucker run it. But it's it's just important, just getting back to you.
Yeah.
And then once you get yourself together, that healing is inevitable.
Amen.
That healing is contagious, honestly.
Man,
But
what-
it's contagious to those who would like to receive it. You
Now
understand what I'm saying?
let's speaking of contagious and people needing to receive reciprocity.
Ooh,
I did
I
that.
see you.
Spell
I did
it.
that.
Right.
I could spell that shit too.
I
I'm
can't
not-
too. I
He's
thought
like,
about
if
this.
I
I'm a
really
good
want,
speller out
if I
here.
really want to, I can spell
I
it.
went to. So listen,
I can spell, but I can't read. No, I'm playing.
somebody who has been displaying extreme butt hurtness over the past few years, who feels like they haven't, received their just due, or doesn't really know how to fucking deal with their own shit and keeps projecting other shit or living in old shit, is Mr. Dame Dash, Mr. Surviving R. Kelly Part 2.
Damn.
Now, we only got one person down here and one person on the mic that has actually seen him basically doing, to me, what appears to be broke nigga behavior. I'll just say it. It's been a lot of talk
Broke
about
nigga
Dame Dash as far as what his bank account looking like. And I'm not one to count nobody's pockets. I don't do that type of shit. I'm just going, it's a podcast. I got to talk about shit. And Dame Dash has constantly talked about Jay-Z. This shit is 20 years old. And he's still talking about this man. And now he's implicating Jay-Z with R. Kelly. Now Jay-Z don't want to have nothing to do with the best of the both worlds debacle that he went through, right?
Didn't.
But now here you go, Dame Dash. Now basically sneak dissing and saying that Jay-Z was also banging Aaliyah. In so many words.
Wait a minute, but hold up. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Dame Dash in a whole relationship with Aaliyah?
Yes.
He was.
So there you go. For fucking pot caught in kettle fucking black and shit.
But here's my other thing. Let's say if Jay, hypothetically speaking, let's say if Jay was doing that with Aaliyah. I'm pretty sure that by that time would have came, she would have been legal by then.
Yeah, she was.
And she would have been an adult by then.
That's not. Oh, go ahead. You know what? You saw it.
Because at the time that he was affiliated with R. Kelly like that, Aaliyah was an adult.
No.
So the one that I saw,
he's not talking about that time.
Okay, the one that I saw, he was talking about, because I didn't see that one, because I'm a Jay-Z fan. So I feel a little bit offended, and I got to go back and watch that.
Well, I didn't see it. I'm going off of commentary. You can tell me what you saw.
What I saw was him talking about, he was talking like real gangster a little bit.
He a Harlem nigga. So
he is, yeah, he is. He real hard.
That fly shit.
But right. And it was just like,
grow up, but that's just
he got to grow up. Absolutely. But I do think what he said about the things that he had knew was valid. You know what I'm saying? The things that about R. Kelly that he had knew, he said he heard about the non-disclosure that her family had signed to the annulment of the marriage and things like that. And he actually ended up having to sign one too, because they were her family made him sign one.
So I gotta say something about this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's two things that I want to address, because I'm gonna definitely have to go back and fact check this, especially with him talking about Aaliyah messed with her. I mean Jay-Z messed with Aaliyah and stuff like that. Okay, so first of all, if he messed with her after they was dealing with each other, then she was legal, so it don't matter. But if he had messed with her beforehand at a time that she was a minor or whatever the case may be, what does that say about you that you turned around and went and got a whole relationship with her after the fact, and then on top of that, you went and got into a relationship with her at a time that you and Jay was still cool. So it means if you knew about this, so that's why I'm like, I gotta fact check this one a little bit, because if that's something that was said, like, it don't make sense.
Yeah, that's a little off for real. And I know Jay,
he's been doing a lot of off shit, man. Like,
yeah, I do, and I do think he's pressed for cash.
Me too. I really do.
I think what he said in there was true about him knowing about the NDA and him having to sign one.
I don't feel like Dame necessarily ever like don't get me wrong, I kind of seen a lot of Dame interviews, and every now and then Dame drop a jewel that I'm just like, all right, I gotta hold on to that one. That was good. Right there. But at the same time, Dame still stuck in the early rock days with his personality and the way of, like, people are always going to be who they are, but it's like I don't see any maturity in you just as a person. Like you just seem like you just trying to be like this street bully dude, opposed to
that's what I was trying to say.
Like when I look
like
at
he's
Jay,
still trying to be cool.
Like Jay looked like he still got juice, but just like on a whole nother mature level where it's like that's dope right there. Like, man,
he's acting his age.
You acting your age. I feel like Dame's still acting like he in his late 20s, early 30s in some ways.
When he had hundreds of millions of dollars and shit.
Is he 52?
Yeah, I believe they're the same age.
Yeah, like 50. Yeah,
they can't be more.
They ain't far apart from.
He was in there with some linen shorts on a button down short sleeve shirt and the dog. I was like, come on, Uncle. Like I mean,
it's like something like that. I don't even
Uncle
feel like you're doing that. It seems like you're almost doing that just because you know that you can. It's like sometimes he does and say stuff to me almost like for shock value, to almost just to be rebellious in a way of being like, I'm Dame Dash, I'm gonna do this,
right,
and you ain't gonna do shit about it. Like he has this I have to prove myself mentality about something. It's like, dude, you ain't gotta be like that.
You know how I don't know if he coined the phrase, but you know he's kind of well known for the phrase culture vulture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do y'all feel about, or what type of angle? Because Dame he can be considered a savvy businessman. I don't know as of late, but what y'all think about him teaming up with the white boy podcaster Adam 22, who's a white boy who has a hip hop podcast. And now those two are basically kind of teaming up.
I think that
producing
he's trying
content.
to find himself.
Think so? He's trying to find himself to be relevant again.
To be
I think-
relevant,
I-
yes.
To get money, right?
I was just about to say, man. Like,
I
to
agree.
Be real.
I knew I wasn't off.
I don't even
You
know if it's
wasn't.
about him being relevant. I think he's trying to become, let's see, believable. Like yeah. I think he's trying to
Believable.
put himself
In
in
what
like,
way?
like what's the word I'm looking for?
That was
like,
good.
Where people can like I think he needs to be trusted again in the business world.
Now that's
You
that
know,
is, I will agree with
that's
that.
a
So
valid
I
point.
think
Yeah, I
he's
would agree with
I
that.
think that once he
That's a
gets
big
to
one
the
right there.
point where he can show the world like, hey, I can still do good business. I think he's trying to make moves to be able to do that so he can start generating the revenue again.
Do you think that move, him partnering up with the white hip hop person, is a good move for us to make him believe him? Or
I don't think it's a good look.
I don't think it is.
It
either.
don't look good, espally when you talking about
Credible is the word I was looking
Credible,
for.
yeah,
I
credible.
think
Culture shit.
he's trying to become credible again.
Yeah.
In a way of like, can I do business with Dame again and not be broke? I mean, come on. Like he's been known in the news at this point of being a couple mil in the hole
Yeah.
as far as his net worth.
Child
like
support.
so like at this point it's like when you start to become like that in the news, who wants to do business with you or whatever when it comes to money? They looking at you like you broke, bro.
Now stuff like that for me seems gimmicky. To
What?
partnering up with the white hip hop culturists or whatever.
Very gimmicky.
It seems like a gimmick for me.
Doesn't seem very genuine either.
It doesn't, and I haven't even seen it but just like, what are you doing?
Sounds fishy, right?
Yeah, like what are you doing?
And the white boy do porn.
But see, oh man, yeah, he's not credible.
Yeah, I don't
And he
want
gonna stay broke
to
until
say
he
I
get
don't
his
want to
shit
say
together.
Dame is lost, but I think that and who am I to tell somebody that's been a millionaire and might possibly still be a millionaire, man? I don't know what his shoebox money look like, but who am I to tell somebody what they need to do with their life? But in my opinion, I think he need to take a step back, evaluate some things, really take that responsibility like we
Yeah.
talk about, and he need to really
That nigga need healing.
have some growth about
Right,
himself.
and
Look
true,
at
true,
Wayne
yeah.
out here giving Dame Dash advice.
Right, like who
Right,
am I to
for
get
real.
Dame Dash advice?
Nah,
like,
but
like
he need it.
Like, look, let
You
me tell
need
you
healing,
something.
Dame,
bro.
call
Hey,
us if you
listen, if
listening.
Dame Dash hear this, we made it.
Yeah, so like for real.
Hey,
Check
But that
your
shit you
rehab,
doing with
bro.
that white
Ain't
boy
hear
is
this.
gimmicky. I mean, I hope you hear it, but that
Yeah.
shit gimmicky as fuck. For real.
All right, y'all. So we jump right into the show. It's a couple things that we fucking left out that we normally get to, we didn't get to. So we'll just end on this note. Did anybody have any fun weekend activities that they like to share?
I went to Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
It was lit.
It was.
It was. I mean, I went with my husband. We
Shout
went
out to
to
Dave and Buster's.
Shout out to Dave and Buster's. We did not take the children. This was a big kid moment for us,
Those are fun.
and we went straight to the basketball hoops and got down. Like we was
won?
over there. It does that matter? Is it about winning?
I gotta ask, if y'all went straight to the hoops, y'all know it's all about keeping score.
So, shit. I won the first one, and then like the other four, somebody else won.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
But
just because he's taller. He like 6'4", just because he's taller. And my ankle has started hurting.
what other games y'all play? My ankle hurt.
We played they have like this really like virtual bowling,
Yeah.
which was really fun. And we
That's
like
a space
kicked,
saver.
We
Buses
kick-
in a minute.
we kicked all the kids off of it. We also played Tomb Raider. That was my first time.
That
I'm
sounds
looking
fun.
at the
Now
excitement
that
about
Tomb
this.
Raider
That-
right there.
That sounds fun.
We kept scanning because it's a
Was it
card
VR?
now. It wasn't VR, but we had the guns though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the VR, it was a long line, and we kind of tried to go early, but we had a good time. We had a really good time. We saw the Patriots lose. We saw the Texans win.
Yeah.
The
That's same
Texans,
thing.
yeah, right, all of them, everybody, right.
Right.
So that
It's
it was on
different
this
way.
big screen. So yeah, we had a really good. I enjoyed usually when we go, we take the boys, and
Right.
but it was good to just him and I go and shit and be
Me
a
and Shirley
kid.
did that when we went to Universal Studios without the kids and rode all the rides, just to make sure they would like it.
Right, yeah, just
Yeah,
to
it's
Had to
necessary.
test it.
parent
Out.
approve.
What about you, Wayne? What you get it to?
Well, Saturday, I was invited to come and be a speaker for a vision board party.
I saw the Instagram photos of you
Yeah.
up there looking. Go ahead.
Vision boardy.
vision boardy. Another word for the JMatt dictionary.
Add
Vision
that in there.
board.
Vision boardy.
Vision
Add
boardy.
that in there.
Yeah, man. Hey, but the vision board party, man, it was dope, man. Hey, man, I went out there. I spoke my piece. You know, hopefully people was able to take away some of my, you know, a couple of jewels that I was able to drop. But that was my first time going to a vision board party. That was my first time ever actually creating a vision board.
Oh, you got a vision
that's what's
board.
up.
Yeah, I actually made a vision board, man. It
What you
ain't
cut out?
ain't turned out too bad, man.
What you cut out?
Naked women, man. You know how I get down, man. Like Hustler magazines, stuff like that.
Right.
No,
Those are
but,
goals.
Any money?
All
Goals,
2020.
goals.
Right. Any money? Right.
Yeah. But I mean, you know me, business, family, you know, stuff like that. Getting out of debt, you know.
I hear that.
You know,
Yeah, we talked
being
about that.
debt free, you know.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
2020 goals.
Yeah, you talk about that. But other than that, then next day, went and treated my wife to a nice little brunch at Pier W.
Yeah, so cute.
You know.
Yeah, you see,
Oh my
you see the
God.
fuck shit, right? You see how much he mentions his wife, right?
He said he be wife loving every
This is
podcast.
her first time being here, and she's like, "God damn,
It's
this nigga
so-
is
y'all
really
so
about
in
his
love. He
wife.
smiling.
Look at him.
Oh,
It's nasty."
that's so right. Look.
Yeah. And he looking in the
Man,
camera and
y'all
shit.
better
Now, I
chill.
might
He
edit
getting
that shit.
wild.
I'm gonna find a way.
He
Man,
getting
listen,
wild
my-
in here now.
My wife get on my last damn nerve,
and you
but
love
I love my
each
wife. I
and
do.
every part of it. That's beautiful.
So speaking of weekends, though, why wasn't you at the that Cleveland Heights night at the
Honestly,
at
I forgot about
at the arena?
I honestly forgot about it.
So we went down there. That was fun. That was actually a pretty good. It wasn't a good game. Actually, it came down. It actually was a good game at the end. The Cavs came back. They was losing by like 25 points, and they came back.
And we lost by what? 24.
I don't know. I wasn't watching at that point. We had left, and we was in the team shop looking around. The way that they remodeled the arena is dope as
I love
fuck.
Yeah, I see they made some changes.
It's amazing.
That shit is so
That
nice.
tunnel with the changing.
Man, everything
It's
is nice.
phenomenal.
Man. I'm about to get some tickets. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the whole fam. You know, I went down there with the life of the party, nigga, Reg.
Yeah.
So you know, we went down there, but everything was cool.
Where he at? I thought he was falling through.
Yeah. What happened?
That's
Chris?
one brother.
Where Reg at? Reggie
Reggie lazy.
Yeah, Reg.
Reggie say I got to work in the morning.
Yeah, he had it. Yeah, right. So, I didn't really do anything else this weekend. So let's just.
Yeah, I was kind of mad when I seen the pictures. I'm like, damn, I forgot the event was that night.
And we really didn't see too many people from Heights. Honestly, we were sitting next to one dude. He was with his son, and his son was with the shits. He like, man, these niggas ain't got no cheerleaders.
Oh damn!
we had to explain.
They had to get rid
like,
of the
nah,
cheerleaders.
man.
We ain't got no wins
Yeah,
right now.
man, right, they niggas is terrible, man. They ain't nothing to cheer on.
Right.
We the cheerleaders.
All right, the last thing that we normally get to right away is National Day. So let's go through what today's National Day is.
know I
What is
hate
the
it.
nation celebrating today? Ding, ding, ding.
Really, nigga?
All right, so
Ah,
January 8th,
National Cutting Grass Day
2020 National.
with snow.
Now I don't know what this is. Is National Joy Germ Day? Somebody please Google that. I don't know.
Joy
what that is.
Germ?
National
Germ Day.
Joy Germ Day. Actually, you know it's right here. I got it. I have to read this one. Nobody knows what the fuck that is. National Joy Germ Day.
Is that like
it's
happy
all
dirt?
one word. JOYGERM.
It's like some happy dirt. Like what is that?
So it reminds people across the country that by being positive and treating people with kindness, they can influence those around them and pass that positive attitude on to others. What the fuck?
oh,
You know,
yeah.
germ is a scientific term.
It's national.
Germ is like it grows. Germs are like a seed.
So they basically just saying pass on the positivity.
like the germination and gestation periods of development.
Look at you, Smarty.
say that
God
shit.
damn,
say
that
that
public
shit. Say
education.
that shit 3 times fast.
Right. It's also National Bubble Bath Day.
Right. National Bubble Bath Day. Do you like bubble baths?
No.
I do.
You enjoy
I
bubble
like-
baths with
I-
Epsom salt?
Man, whatever, man. These
But
joints
there's no
ache,
bubbles
man.
in the Epsom salt. What's
Hey,
I
I like a bath every now and then.
I haven't took a bath in
It was
years.
it's
like
been
a
a while.
bath every
I
now
just
and then,
actually
man.
had to do
Be
a
able to soak some of that dirt off. But
a
you got to take the shower afterwards.
I had to do an ice thing. I couldn't do the full bath.
Ice bath?
Yeah, my ankle is sprained.
You ain't get all the
So-
way in the tub though.
Nah.
You just put
I
your ankle
stood
in
up.
there.
Yeah, I stood up
that
in
don't
there.
count.
And I told the doctor I did it. And they was like, how you? I was like, yeah, it was,
Oh, you
know,
was
I don't know.
capping.
Nah, I was like, nah,
Straight
I'm not
cap.
getting down with
I'm gonna
that.
do the ice bath one day just to say I did it. Like the
Didn't you
coldest
do
balls.
Didn't you do the
balls,
MLS
yeah.
challenge?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
you
did.
do that?
I had they had a whole big giant trash can full of
Yeah.
ice water that they poured on me.
Joy.
Yeah,
It
so
wasn't
you
that
did
bad.
it. You had an ice
No,
bath.
it wasn't the same.
National
That was an ice
Argyle.
shower.
Man.
Argyle? Is it Argyle?
National Argyle Day, like the Argyle sweaters, like Bill Cosby sweaters.
Oh, okay. And National Winter Skin Relief Day is today.
So all y'all with them ashy,
Ashy as fuck.
elbows
My
and
ankle-
your chapped
Look at
lips.
My ankle is so ashy. I'm embarrassed.
You gotta handle that.
Ooh.
You know
my
the
God,
camera is
shut up.
on.
Oh, damn.
So
I forgot.
yep. We've
That
all
man
seen
kickball with a ball of flour.
Man. Nigga. Bruh.
She kicked
they
a
look
bag
so
of flour.
bad. Damn.
Nobody told you to raise your leg.
I know. And I was just trying to be, transparent.
I didn't even see it. I was
So
just
we've been
messing with
In the spirit of National Skin Relief Day, man, somebody go get her some jerkins,
Or a jerk.
it.
some Eucerin.
Listen.
All right, and what's the last one?
National English Toffee Day.
That's nasty as fuck.
I don't like that.
Anything
English
toffee,
toffee.
is disgusting.
Nope.
That's like saltwater taffy.
Taffy. Oh.
Nasty, disgusting.
So why is that even a thing?
I don't know.
Oh.
Somebody's grandma invented that. That was like
She
I
liked
think
it.
That had to be
Some
poor people's
white
candy.
German lady.
That had to be poor people's candy. You want some saltwater taffy?
Oh God. And you know what? I thought when I had tried it the one time that I ever tried it, I'm thinking Laffy Taffy. So it's just like I'm thinking, oh, this is just a form of Laffy Taffy. Absolutely not. The texture, everything was just not okay.
Nasty.
It was unwell.
All right, so we're going to end on this note because I actually like what I just saw as I scroll down the National Day, and it is giving us instructions. Let's leave on a positive note. It's been a really positive podcast, actually.
It
Y'all-
has been.
So,
Yeah, thank you
Wayne,
so
We
much for
going with
having
the
me.
shit, man.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to drift off into
It was
that.
Wait,
no,
oh,
it was
you-
good.
You dropped
Pastor.
the sermon that?
It was good, Pastor.
She
That
passed
was
the
an
Pastor
overflow
Wayne.
from the weekend.
Yeah.
It was good. I've had a good time. Thank you guys for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. How to observe National Joy Germ Day. So we're going to leave you guys with a way to spread the good vibes. Throughout the day, see how often you can spread the joy germ. Use National Joy Germ Day to post on social media. National Joy Germ Day is over by the time you hear this. But if you would like to fucking spread good vibes,
Do that anyway.
you have
Just do it.
our consent and our agreement in doing that. Positive vibes.
Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Absolutely.
Vision 2020, positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
And we're going to end on that note. We'll see y'all next week. We out.
Peace and love.
Dose.